Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Case. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Alright guys, we will be ready to hop on in now in just a moment. Unfortunately with me on the clean feed, I wasn't able to put us in until the studio were off of it. The Russian studio, of course, that was what was showing. We have now got the sound on, of course, and we're hopping on into the pistol round here on Inferno. And we should have a very interesting game coming our way, I would imagine. Of course, the first map did go the way of Prosto, but it was quite close, and it was one that I expected Prosto to be able to take quite easy. So coming into Inferno, there definitely is a little bit of worry. Movistar Riders, I think, can certainly put up a much better performance here. Will they do so, though, is the main question. Already losing the player early on and taking quite a lot of damage as well down towards Banana. Not a good position to be in with this round still very early on as well. They do have a good bit of utility to work with, though, between Alex, Easter, and also Soaker. 3 Molotovs, okay. Bringing it over towards B. Those Molotovs probably going to completely carpet the bomb site. Nickel back in towards the spawn now, dropping the smoke, so that should be able to delay a little bit as well. Although it looks like they might just burst through it. With the flash in possession, I mean, they can just throw that flash over and try and come in through the smoke. But Nickelback, he's going to be ready up close. This is going to be tough. Actually decides to fall back through, comes in again, and ends up paying the price for it this time around. Waylander now in the back of the bomb site. Going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and this man is withstanding it perfectly. Manages to take 2 quick headshots, just hides to stay alive. World Edda helps out with a double kill, and there it is. Prosto with the opening pistol here on Inferno. I see someone in the chat saying the Cash remake is cool. I'm yet to see it. I'm not yet to see it because I've been casting this. So the first thing I'm doing as soon as this best of 3 ends is getting that VOD up and watching it back. Oh, this was great. Good aggression early on, of course, coming in. Waylander was able to find that opening kill as well, and then taking 2 more from the back box, making it 3 in total. And most importantly, just delaying that push so much, keeping their advantage, and allowing for his teammates to rotate in. We see now, of course, a force buy coming in from Movistar Riders, similar to what we've seen from them on that previous map. Not really willing to take the eco here early on. They know they're able to fight for it. And it is a very heavy SMG buy for Prosto. But on a map like Inferno, having those SMGs is not as big of a deal as it would be on Overpass, for example, because a lot closer angles overall. As I say that, though, Mopos ends up quickly snatching a headshot there on the P250. Nickelback could be in trouble. Ends up going down as well. Mopo's getting himself a second. I mean, a lot of damage has been done on towards 3 of those players. But a 2-man advantage, if the T's just stick together and manage to use their numbers well, this could be an issue. And here we go, executing in towards this B bomb site. Molotov's going in. World Edit playing in the pit, hoping he's not going to get blinded. Spots a couple of players coming through, but isn't able to find even one before going down. So these pistols from Movistar Riders are just unstoppable at the moment. A 5-on-2 with Yakin there and Quick not really being given any choice other than to save at this point. Holding maybe to see if they can steal away an exit or 2. quick. I was going to say may have the chance to catch himself a kill. Unfortunately, wouldn't have got himself a weapon upgrade even if he got it. It was only the MP9 as well. But either way, Easter being the one who wins out that fight. 5-on-1 as Yakandar, of course, just saving the MP9 will be able to do so. No one exiting through the CT spawn. So they'll have that in the next round to work with at least. But Movistar Riders making the force buy happen and doing so extremely convincingly. That was actually ridiculous how dominant that round was. Clean eco, someone said in the chat, and indeed that was clean. Let's see if Prosto can get revenge, though. They, of course, they're going to be going in for a force buy as well. Or they are, of course, rather, going to be going in for a force buy. 2 Deagles, a CZ, a 5.7, and then the MP9 that was saved. Yakandar could have dropped over another MP9 if they wanted, but decided against it. Keep that little bit of extra money for himself. Oh, they go back trying to get aggressive in the boiler. Ends up getting shut down by the Mach 10. Didn't have the helmet, I don't believe, so very easy towards the head, of course, to take him out. We'll let it now up close as well. Has a bit of assistance from Long, but a smoke actually being tossed down, I think, may block off the vision of Waylander. And indeed it does. He decides to rotate around quick, just hiding on their quad. They're trying to play a bit of a bait and switch setup right now. But Movistar Riders still have 50 seconds remaining, and they do also have full banana control. So in theory, they don't really have to be taking this in towards middle, but they are going to be going for it. They end up losing the player on banana. It's Mopos who goes down. Yakandar taking that control now. He doesn't actually push forward, but at this point, Movistar Riders, they aren't sure if he has or not. And with not a lot of time, they are just going to go ahead and commit in towards this A bomb site now. 2 players to hold it down, though. Waylander able to get one on the Deagle, does some good damage, but unfortunately doesn't manage to finish off Easter somehow. I'm actually not too sure how he didn't get that one. I think dinked them maybe twice through the corner of the box. 4 health for Easter as he survives, and with that, Movistar Riders should have the round. I don't think Yakandar has really much of an opportunity again. Probably going to try and save over the MP9. Still sticking around over towards B, so that does seem to be the case. Did you see the new cache? No, not yet. I was actually just saying that a minute ago that the first thing I'm doing after this game ends is going back to actually watch the VOD of that, because I want to see the new cache. Looking forward to it. I don't mind Virgo's the map, but give us back cache. Are the casters Irish? It's actually just one caster, but yeah, I am Irish. I am from Dublin. 2-1. We should see Prosto having to go for the eco now in this round, of course. As I said before, the MP9 being saved over at least gives them a little bit to work with. He had kept 1,400 even before going into that previous round, so a lot of money for Yakandar right now. Probably saving to drop the off over to World Edit in the next round, I'd imagine. Bit of aggression will be coming in towards Banana. It's just Waylander. Getting tagged up by that Molotov, though, actually giving away his position. They do just start spamming it, and Nade goes in as well. Waylander, oh no! Hello? Could he not hear the Molotov there or something? What the hell? Just runs right back into the flames. Was already on 5 health before it. Not quite a 1G because it was an opponent's Molotov, but still, I don't know how he didn't know there was a Molotov right there, because you could hear it burning pretty loudly. A man advantage for Movistar Riders, as well as the control over towards Banana. Looking now to also get something over towards middle. Take the mid control, take the banana control, give yourselves all the options about where you can bring it down later in the round. Restrict the CTs just towards the bomb sites pretty much, and also if you have the mid control and if you have the banana control, especially the mid control, then you can cut off rotations over towards B. So let's see how this goes. Now the bomb being retrieved back from the ramp. Where will they be actually looking to bring it? A does seem most likely, and yeah, that's where the bomb's going to start going. As I say that, though, they do have a player walking into B, so I think they're going to realize B is clear. With that, probably going to bring it back down mid, and there you go. Yeah, and they're going to start running down. I wasn't sure maybe if they try and split into CT instead, which also would have worked. but just about making the correct call here in the end to avoid that stack over towards the A-bomb site. So the bomb will get planted, and there's not a lot that the CTs can actually do about this. Oh, there we go. I think they should have the info now that it's a bit of a stack over towards A, although not everyone's shown themselves. But, of course, at this point, it's very likely that everyone is just together with 4 players still being alive and with B having been clear. Actually, a few weapons being retrieved. It is just SMGs, but I mean, Pro still surviving. Not too bad. Keeping over the 2 players with the Kevlar as well. Yeah, nice shot there on the P250, of course. So, oh, yeah, World had taken that second one as well. Okay, he's the one putting in the damage then, allowing for those weapons to be picked up. One thing I was wondering was, would they actually keep these SMGs? And they've gone for it. They've kept 2 MP9s and a Mac 10 in play. So it's going to be a little bit awkward potentially having those weaker overall weapons, of course. Early on, seeming like they do just want to go for that banana control. Smoke up towards the top, Molotovs as well, stopping the CTs from being able to peek in, rather, and connecting a small bit of damage on the Waylander. So again, Movistar Riders are able to take that banana control pretty easily. I mean, they have to use utility, of course, but they also force utility out of the CT side. They again make their way back after the initial banana control to take something over towards middle, finding it pretty easy. I mean, the CTs, what they have, the SMGs rather, decided to play passively, and that means that they can't really do much about that control. It was only really World Edit or Waylander on the op and then the M4 that could make the slightly longer range fights, but at this point, rotation being called for with the amount of aggression that's been shown on A. And the issue is right now for the CT side that the T's have already begun to bring it back over towards B. It's gonna leave just one player rather to have to hold this one down, and that is Waylander, already slightly tagged up. He's called into further rotation, most likely with the time getting low, and he will have some help. The op already to Mac 10 towards CT spawn in the hands of Nickelback, and actually manages to put in a bit of damage. I was gonna say should catch the player pushing through the smoke. Mopos had slowed it down, but spamming through either way ends up getting the kill. 5-on-3 now in play as the bomb is getting planted finally, but potential spam to come in. Not quite managing to connect, unfortunately. But it is still the 5-on-3, of course. Couple of the fuse kits are in play, so the time not the biggest of deals. Waylander catching Death's peeking in. Alex up close, needed to find something. It's all on Easter now. Gets 2. And if he had managed to actually connect that shot there on the Yekin there coming up through Banana, that would have been very winnable. Double up setup here from Prosto as well. Let's see if they can chain a few rounds together here on the CT side. Movistar Riders, of course, are going to be looking to try and just keep grinding out these rounds, going back and forth. Wouldn't be hurtful, of course, to them being on the T side. So Prosto are the ones to have to take these rounds convincingly. Of course, living with 3 in the previous round wasn't bad, but it doesn't really let them build up a lot of money. Again, the initial banana control already being found by the T side. Again, making their way back in towards middle as well. It's kind of rinse and repeat, but it's working out for them considering Prosto are playing overall quite passively. It lets them get the map control. It gives them the options to work with later in the round. The question is, when they're actually going in towards the bomb sites, then are they able to make it happen? Go back on the op lane in from Dark. In good position to be able to catch one quick kill, but when there's Molotovs in play, it can also be awkward afterwards. Drops down a Molotov himself to try and delay, and actually catches one player pushing in. They were able to isolate just Mopos right there. No one able to follow it up immediately, so no chance for the instant trade, unfortunately, for the T side. Nickelback getting himself the third one coming in as well. They just cannot stop this man. Looking for the ace. They eventually managed to put him down, but I mean, that took way too long. Finding 4 kills, it's all on Alex. He needs an ace clutch now. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of time to work with and no longer has the life to make it happen. Yekin there spamming in through the smoke. They're able to finish it off. 3-3. As the pause comes in, Movistar Riders is going to be having a bit of a discussion. They do have enough to buy on 2 players, but I think the eco here probably would be the better idea. Take that 1 eco, buy into the next round. It's still pretty early on. They've already got 3 rounds on the T side. If they just even buy up some pistols onto those who can afford it right now, then they can get maybe a couple of kills out of it and make it a worthwhile round, and then come into the next one with a much, much better buy. Because if they go for it now, they'll only have the 2 rifles. Here we go, getting back into it, as I said. Not expecting them really to buy up anything. It is just those pistols. Bit of utility. Alex and Dets are able to buy quite a lot. Mopos gets a bit as well. Easter and Soaker even pulling out a smoke and then a flash. And a P250 as well. So definitely could be worse. They have the chance to try and get a couple kills out of this. Just keep the investment. Have to actually come in from the T side. From the CT side, rather. Bit of damage being found by the nades, unfortunately, though, early on towards the T's without having that Kevlar, of course. I think there's only 1 player who really actually took any damage, even though they were all kind of standing in a group. So that is interesting. But yeah, right now, only having that banana control means they've given up everything else, so they don't really have info about what's going on. In theory, Prosto could have already pushed down through mid or in towards the apartment, so they are now going to begin to move towards B. Oh, the boost though, perfect from Nickelback. Race break control on the M4, taking down 3. The Molotov in place then stops the final 2 players from being able to push in and allows for World Edit to just peek out and finish it off with the op. 2 quick kills. 4-3, Prosto going to be taking themselves the lead. Reminder, they did manage to win map 1 as well. This here is the map choice of Movistar Riders. But as I said, going into Overpass, statistically, it was a map that was much, much better for Prosto. But here on Inferno, it's actually it's a map that is pretty good for both teams. The only thing that worried me was the fact that Overpass was a map that I expected Prosto to take convincingly. But Movistar Riders made it a close one, so being able to do that on Overpass gives you kind of good indications for what they're going to be able to show us here on Inferno. 3 rounds, as I said early on, is not bad, but they will be looking to bring it up to at least 6 or 7 on the T side. Waylander catches Mopo, trying to creep forward through that smoke. No one to try and help him out either, so it's a free kill, free frag pretty much, rather. Being found over the CT side. That is dangerous though. Taking the peek further down Banana, the smoke in this position as well gives the kind of one-way smoke for Alex to work with. Peeks out and trades it back. What was a man advantage for Pros though is now a 4-on-4, which favors the T side. They're going to be happy with a 1-for-1. It seems like the T side now focusing back towards the A-bomb site. This is where Movistar Riders want to bring it, and already the rotation is going to be coming in, actually. You can see already sending 1 player over from B. Nickelback is in library to try and help hold down long, which probably will be needed. Smoke actually getting dropped as well, so if they wanted, they could wrap in towards the arch, but the bomb's towards short, so likely they will be pushing through the smoke, but it works as a distraction. Nickelback actually has the same idea that I did, that they could be going through the CT spawn. Of course, if he had to be cautious, lets his teammate go down, returns 1 before being dropped himself, and now Yekin there from the bomb site Manages to make it on the short, but doesn't expect the player to pop out a piss so quickly. It's going to be 4-4 as World Edit immediately backs off. World Edit will at least be able to save the up. As you can see, Movistar Riders not really in a position to hunt them down. Why did Yekin there jump out of smoke? I mean, he could have stayed on the bomb site. Maybe would have been the better idea. He made quite a lot of noise, but I think he just tried to use that as an advantage, get on the other side of the smoke, and then maybe see if he could catch someone off guard. Was hoping maybe there would be one person there to kill, and then at that point he's on short. He can be a bit of a nuisance and allow for his teammate to rotate in as well, but it didn't work out. Pro100. Pro Stow, rather, my bad. I forgot for a moment. I think I might have said Pro100 a couple of times. My bad. But yeah, they're looking pretty decent still in terms of the buy. But as I said, going back and forth is only going to favour Movistar Riders at this point in the game when they're on the T side. Although Inferno is a CT-sided map, it can pretty easily flip. These maps can if the T's start getting kind of a roll on. If they start getting some momentum going in their favour, if they're able to keep the economy weak and just kind of keep on breaking it for the CT side, forcing them back and forth between ecos and buys. That's pushed up in the apartments right now. It is being spotted, so probably not going to be able to peek out and do too much. Looking to see if he can just catch someone off guard, maybe around the bomb site or rotating in from long. See Yekin there below, but the smoke going to go down, so with that, not going to be able to do much in this area. Waylander spotting some players on Banana. Alone on B right now, just jump peeking for the info. Drops the smoke just in time. Unfortunately, they don't follow it up. Because if Movistar Riders had to push through that smoke right there, if they had just gone in and tried to at least get the 1-for-1 trade, then it could have worked out for them. Would have been a risky play, but of course they don't have the info about what's going on. And just as they bring it back towards A, again, the rotation gets called in for Prosto. It's World Edit going over towards B, unfortunately. Drops a smoke and he's going to leave his teammate, rather leave Waylander alone again over on this side as he makes his way back towards A. So making the correct decision. Molotov perfectly timed in the apartments. That is amazing. Forces Debts forward on his own. The rest of them cannot afford to follow him up, especially considering two of them are already on low health. Only one of them in the apartments, rather. He's on short, but there we go. Finally going forward. Quick is able to take down one and do some damage on top of it. World Edit drops Alex, and with that, the remaining two players on the east side just barely hanging on to life. It's not looking good. Soaker in a 1-on-4. Catches one headshot. He needs to stay alive, though. May go down after time, and there it is. No money for Soaker. $1,700 in the bank. He doesn't get any loss bonus. That is heartbreaking. Movistar Riders likely to just take an eco right now. Could have been worse. Thankfully, he did at least have $1,700 in the bank. World Edit. God damn it, Taskbar. It just keeps popping up. I was going to say, yeah, World Edit had a good angle there initially on mid and towards second mid to maybe take one down, but he falls back off and just continues to fall back angle to angle, taking 4 before eventually going down. In 3 shots, of course, resorted to the USP to see if he could finish it off with the ace, but did get dropped in the end. Don't think he's going to be too worried. The up pick back up will be dropped over. And with that, it's 6-4. Prosto keeping themselves in the lead. But the buy again is going to be available for Movistar Riders, and that was really nice from World Edit. Gets the collateral there, falls back, gets the new angle again, this time in behind the pillar. And just made that look easy. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with the op when you're up against pistols, and he was playing those angles perfectly. Isolating the fights as well as he possibly could. Getting aggressive down mid though, Yekindar, that is ballsy, and it costs him. He's there coming in through second mid on the op, was able to drop him. World Edit still on mid though. Again, was initially holding that angle in, waiting to see if anyone was going to peek him, but just drops the smoke for now. Allows them to focus more towards the apartment. It's going to be holding a nice angle to watch anyone coming out of the bedroom. Waylander and Banana realizes they've taken control. Oh, gets wall banged. They won't be aware of that, so they probably won't follow it up immediately. But if they did, no, that could have been good. Although they do have a second player on B now as well. Nickelback has made his way over. Oh, this nade could do some good damage. Indeed, it does on towards Mopos. Down to 50, I believe. Molotov forcing the player on Banana to take that fight. Nickelback able to get 1-for-1 trade. Not really good enough in this position considering Waylander's so low on the B bomb site, and it's already a man disadvantage, of course. Right now going to be brought over towards A, though. This is a positive. World editing quick on this side of the map currently. And of course, the over towards B, Waylander's actually found himself the info about what's going on. So he's called that to his teammates. Now he's going to be coming in on the flank, and they're setting themselves up. Although they are dropping the Molotovs, etc. quite early, because Movistar Riders are trying to be quiet, not realizing that they've already been kind of sold out on what they're doing. 20 seconds remaining. They still have a bit of utility. A smoke, a flash, and a Molotov. Waylander though on mid. This is going to be dangerous. Quick manages to take two as they come out of the apartments. Drops the bomb, and there it is. The headshot on the player falling down. Great tracking as he gets himself the quick burst headshot. 7-4. Movistar Riders in a round that was looking to be theirs. Unfortunately, not able to close it out. A spectacular hold, and just well played from Prosto. As I said, that player on Banana was able to find the info and then flanking behind allowed his teammates to set up well in advance to hold it down. Back on the pistols now, unfortunately, from Movistar Riders. Couple Deagles, couple P250s, and then a CZ. Yekindar taking the aggression this time towards the apartments, not down mid. And of course, this time also not being against the full buy. So he should have a bit of an easier time. General spamming true. The X-ray being turned off by the observer. It looked like it was on point, but he must have moved slightly just after we had the X-ray turned off, so we didn't see it. So Mopos doesn't even really take any damage. Gets dropped to 89 only somehow. I think a nade done a little bit to him. Off in towards mid, getting dinked up. World edit. He's played this position well before, but now he's on 26 health, so it's going to be a bit harder. And there indeed. Easter finishes him off with a wide swing, and up to be retrieved from the T side, and an A split potentially to come in now because the long control spell has been found. Yekendar's still around though. Drops Easter, removes the op out of the hands of the T side, so that is a very important kill. And the Deagle spam not quite working out for Alex, although he did do some pretty good damage. 1-by-1. I'm not too sure what the plan is for Movistar Riders. If they had went together, maybe they could have done something in that 4-on-4. I mean, 3-on-4 more so, because the 4-on-4 was the op over on long getting taken down. He was kind of caught out in the open, so that was a little bit awkward. Although he also could have waited for someone to come around on mid and peek in from long with him, because he didn't really know if there was anyone in library or not. 8-4 though for Prosto. Movistar Riders now beginning to fall a bit flat. They had a decent start. Since then, though, we haven't seen a lot from them. No aggression this time around initially from the CT side. World edit. He's been holding this angle pretty much every round, but I don't think he's yet to actually show himself on this one specifically. Does now. Actually doesn't manage to get the shot off, baited out a bit by the first player, forced to drop the Molotov then as well. But with a smoke, it still allows for Movistar Riders to go forward. Yekindar could be in trouble. 3 players peeking up short. He ends up getting taken down quick up on the balcony. He needs to get locked on. They are flashed, but he's only able to find a single kill before going down. And then World Edit on the bomb site in trouble, gets pushed. His barrel giving away his position rather, and he wasn't able to find anything. A 2-on-3 for Nickelback and Waylander to try and recover. And as the smoke goes down on long, I don't know if they're going to be able to do a lot. They've good money though, so it seems like they still want to at least attempt it. Both players going to be grouping up and trying to take it in from short. Waylander trying to be silent, his teammate not so much. A little bit awkward, he decides to just go forward. Goes down, Nickelback. I don't think he's going to be able to even back away if he wanted. Ends up getting dropped by Alex as well. 5 on the board now for Movistar Riders. If they can get even just 1 more on the T side, then they're in a decent position. Pro still spending pretty much all their money coming into this round to get the buy, so this is a very crucial round. If Movistar Riders pick this one up and take 6th, then it's very likely they actually get 7 off the back of it, because the buy in the final round would not be great for Prosto. A couple players would have the rifles, but not everyone. Alex looking tempted to push forward to the smoke. There's 2 players, though, on the other side of it, and I mean, if they're just going to spam through either way and get the kill, that doesn't even matter. Soaker trying to see if he can return something on mid, but there's a player in Boiler. Yekindar finds the first kill, but he goes out mid and doesn't realize Soaker's already pushed up close. The trade will eventually come back a second from Soaker as well. It's costly, but Easter in the meantime taking 1, which is allowed for it to become a man advantage. Movistar Riders going to find the A bomb site. Easter realizing there's a player coming in through CT as well, just drops the molly. And with that, the bomb should just be planted. Waylander and Nickelback, are they going to go for it? They're the players with the money as well, so if they save, they can drop for their teammates in the next round. But the bomb is still yet to be planted, and Soaker on low health, which they should be aware of. So they're trying to see if they're going to be given any opportunities to make their way in for this retake. And here we go, grouping up on short. Waylander and Nickelback. Can they make it happen? For the utility, at least they try and block off that player in the pit, but he does pretty quickly move into a new position where he can still actually assist his teammates. It was Mopo's on the bomb site there to actually take the headshot onto Waylander though, and with that, Nickelback beginning to back away. 6 on the board from Movistar Riders. It'll be, I was going to say it'll be an okay buy in the next round for the CT side, but unfortunately with the rifle going down and not being saved over, it's only going to be 3 players who have the actual buy to work with. World Edit and then Yekindar having just around 2,000 or a bit more, so not great. Weapons being dropped over though. World Edit gets an M4 off someone. I think it was off Yekindar because he's ended up on a Deagle. No, actually, it was off Waylander. World Edit must have dropped the... yeah, no. How did... Okay, Waylander must have had loads of money because he was able to buy up a FAMAS for himself and also drop an M4 over. Did, to be fair, only get himself body armor though, so sacrificed quite a bit to give World Edit this buy. But overall, I mean, Prosto can certainly make this one work. It's not terrible. Let's see how it's going to go. Right now, World Edit peeking in towards middle with that flash to try and see if he could get any info. Doesn't spot anything. But of course, that's not right because there is a few players in towards the apartments right now. They will eventually begin to advance forward, getting that boiler control. Won't go towards long. With that now, Prosto being unfortunately stopped from really getting any info in towards this position, at least not as effectively unless they decide to push up short or retake from long together. Waylander. He's in an awkward spot right now. Manages to actually catch one. Eventually getting taken down over on long. Of course, there was a couple players pushing up close to that smoke. Wasn't able to do a lot about it. 1-for-1 trade, unfortunately allowing for a player to make it into the spawn. And with that, Nickelback now alone on the B bomb site. He's going to have a very tough time trying to actually hold this one down in towards construction. I think the best thing he could do is probably stay alive and just set up for the retake. But even then, they don't have a defuse kit. And there it is. Tries to take the fight. Ends up going down. Death's cutting off the rotation down through mid. And even the kill being found on the World Edit as he was dropping in through the spawn. So it's only Quick now that remains. First being the final round of the half. Saving is not an option. So he's going to look to see what he can find. But the answer is not very much. Ends up getting dropped 7-8 at the half time. Movistar Riders with a very good recovery. Being down 8-4. Taking those 3 final rounds. Something they can be very happy with. Looking at the scoreboard, you can see that it is a very even game right now between everyone. The frag disparity between the top and bottom fraggers, not massive for either side. 5 for Movistar Riders, 10, and then down to 5. So not terrible. No one, Mopos could definitely step up a little bit. And then over on the T side, you can see 12 is the top fragger. That's Nickelback. Quick at the bottom on 8. And even then, Quick has had some really good impact in this game. So it shows you how everyone is actually contributing. Coming into this pistol round now, though. Very important one, of course. The nade looking to be tossed out towards Banana. If it's thrown out, it'll do some pretty good damage, I'd imagine. 2 players just on the corner, and there it is. Doesn't do too much, actually. Second one, though, following in. That is the one that has a fair amount of impact. World Edit down to 65 and Quick on 72. Might not seem like a lot, but up against pistols, that bit of damage is actually pretty useful. Mopos just about makes it back to the spawn. But dropped to 55 himself, not having the Kevlar. Soaker taking the peek, spots out that there is at least a couple of players around Banana currently. And it looks like they will probably eventually end it over towards this B-bomb site as well. There's 3 players currently on the A side of the map now, actually beginning a little bit of a rotate. Sending 2 players over. They have one pushed up in the apartment so that he can just peek down into mid. So with that, allowing themselves to set up very well on B. I like this gamble. When will the push come in, though? There's 2 smokes. There's 3 flashes for the T side. So they'll be able to smoke off the coils. They'll be able to smoke off CT and actually stop some of these players from having vision. As I say that, though, still a kill coming in from Easter. Spam and Drew gets a second as well. Pushes forward and eventually gets dropped. A little bit overzealous. But it's still the man advantage for the CT side. And there it is. Alex, he finds the final 2 headshots. I think he spammed them down through the smoke. Unless there was a small gap on the left side. But I think he just managed to line them up. Off the back of losing the pistol as well. Prosto willing to take the eco. Not what we've seen from Movistar Riders. They forced in and of course did actually end up winning that force buy, I believe. Can't see the scoreboard right now, but if I remember correctly, that's what happened. Yeah, they did. They took it with ease. Or was it not the force buy and they ended up actually taking an eco a couple of rounds later? I think that may have actually been the case. So let's see how this one goes. 8-8 right now. Of course, it's most likely going to be Movistar Riders claiming the lead. But you can never count out a couple of Deagles. You can never count out a P250. Things can definitely happen. As we do see them beginning to mostly group up around this mid area. Highlander, a little bit of a chance on the Deagle. Spots out 1 player in behind the bomb site. Waiting for Dets to show himself. Flash goes in though. Doesn't really blind them too much, but even though it landed pretty much under his feet, I believe. I guess he was looking above it in theory. It looks like at this point they will finally begin to actually commit forward. Not a lot of time on the clock, of course. The bomb actually, I think, going to make its way up towards A, so they're trying to sell a bit of a fake, but it's not seeming like it's being extremely convincing. I mean, there's still 2 players over towards A ready to hold it down. Waylander, though, manages to catch Alex. With that, now Det's in the pit. He could be in a lot of trouble. Manages to actually catch 2 on short, though. At this point, I think his main goal should just be to stay alive. There's not a lot of time left. The bomb just about being retrieved, though. It may be planted. There we go. A little bit of bonus money being found for pros, though. That's a victory. 1 kill and a bomb plant, considering they didn't really spend much at all. They can be happy with that. Godo. Very important round, of course, for both sides in this game. Movistar Riders getting themselves in the lead for the first time, I believe. I believe it's the first time. I think they equaled it up before, but weren't actually able to get themselves in the lead back when we had it at 4-4. So, let's see if they can keep this up, of course, having taken themselves now, I believe, 5 rounds in a row, actually. Yeah, because they were down 8-4 at one point, so this has been looking fairly convincing. Weaker weapons overall, though, in this round, so that could be a bit of an issue, but I mean, so far it doesn't seem to be, because Mopos has already managed to pick up 1 kill onto Quick. And then a smoke being dropped down stops Prosto from being able to continue to aggress over towards Banana. Gonna actually have to see if they can get something done over towards middle, instead get that control, as they leave just Nickel back to hold for any banana aggression that may come in. But he's still looking to go forward somewhat. Needs to be careful. A player up close to the wall, one on top of the sandbags. Positive is Soaker's low health, and Mopo's as well, also only having an MP9. So as they begin to group up together again, the trades are still certainly possible. Around this corner. There's the first. There we go. Yekin there even managed to pick up Mopo's. 1 health is what he's left with. But he's managed to flip the tables. Now the situation comes into a favourable spot for Prosto instead. The bomb should be planted on B. And if a kill doesn't come in quickly from the CTs, I think they probably should just be saving. And you can see already, yeah, beginning to back over towards A again. Save is being called for. They'll be able to carry over a couple SMGs and a rifle and probably drop over then a couple of weapons in this next round. But Prosto equalising the scoreline at 9-9. And as I said, with those weapons being saved over, they can manage to drop over a little bit. But even then, it's not great. They toss over the MP9 over towards Mopos. That allows for Easter to buy himself up an M4. Dets has an M4 as well. So it's around them. Movistar Riders can put up a fight in for sure. But if this one doesn't work out, then they're looking at Nico in the next. And at that point, Prosto will be taking themselves an 11-9 lead. So super important for Movistar here on the CT side to pick this one up. And right now, they aren't really trying to contest any of this map control, at least not over towards B. They are doing so on mid, to be fair, with the 1 player in Boiler and then 2 on long. But for the moment, at least, Prosto, they've focused on B. And, oh, it looks like they're actually just going to straight up commit in towards the bomb site. Molotov goes down, though, and then a smoke as well, delaying massively and allowing for the spam to come in with some serious damage on the quick. He gets dinked down. I mean, it's not like the CT's got away healthy either, but for the moment, at least, the push not going to be coming in, and both teams really just looking a little bit worse than they did before that exchange started. I would say they're still in a pretty equal position, though. World Edit was watching that spawn. It looked like Alex was tempted to peek. Only having the UMP, though, couldn't really afford to do so. But now with time's actually beginning to become a bit of an issue here for the T side. Just over 30 seconds remaining. Beginning to make their way over towards A. A positive is, though, 3 players have gambled over towards B currently for the CTs. So Prosto are going to be running into an A bomb site with only 2 defenders. Both of them being on the bomb site as well. So coming out of balcony, let's see how this goes now. Easter blinded up, but Dets is able to find the opening kill. 1 trade coming back, and eventually the second as well. Nickelback joined in, quick in a good spot to cut off this rotation. But as you can see, Movistar Riders, they want nothing to do with it. Again, just a save has been called for. It's going to be 10-9 as Prosto take double digits. I don't think that Prosto will be willing to hunt, though. Not that they don't have money. I mean, they don't have a lot of money, so maybe they would have went for only... They could have went for a bit of a hunt, but they wouldn't really have enjoyed losing more than 1 or 2 weapons. But with everyone already being tagged up so heavily, they can't really afford to do it. I mean, Movistar Riders, wouldn't be surprised if they were to call in a pause soon. Are they going for the buy again? No, just going to be getting up a couple of pistols on the weaker players. But as I said, it's probably going to be looking 11-9 after this one. Bit of damage from that Molotov, nothing too substantial though, before Quick was able to get it extinguished. And again, it should be pretty easy map control for the T side. I mean, both of these teams haven't been playing too aggressive. We seen kind of early on in the half when the weaker buy overall was out for Movistar Riders in the first gun round. Rather, they were contesting the top of Banana. Didn't go too well for them. It seems to have kind of shied them away from it a little bit. Look at this position though from Easter. He's pushed all the way through the T apartments, so they've already called a full rotate in towards B. There's 4 players. Well, 3 players. A 4th should be heading over quite soon, and then of course there's the flank as well. That's going to be coming in from Easter. So let's see. They need to hurry up and move forward. There's the boost in place as well though. Mopo's on the MP9. Alex able to pop up over the construction. And this is looking dangerous. A man advantage right now. Weapons being picked up. Dex on the AK gets 1 and a second. Good spray control for the headshots. It's 10 to 10. Movistar Riders steal away around. It will be it's still a buy here from Prosto, but that's a round that they shouldn't have been losing. Keeps it much closer than it was looking to be. Again, quick banana control. They're not really too afraid. Even though the nades come in, it's normally the Molotov. They're able to drop the smoke on it pretty easy. They're able to find that control immediately, and this time around, peeking in with a flash, able to catch a couple of players off guard. Unfortunately, only taking 1 of the kills, and then Alex was ready to follow up from the spawn. So still a 4-on-4, but they'll still be happy with that. I mean, a 1-for-1 does tend to favor the T side, so I don't think they're going to be worrying too much. For now, just keeping things slow for Prosto. 2 players waiting to see if the CTs decide to reclaim the banana control, which, as I say that, Alex begins to push forward somehow. He's going to be in trouble. Yeah, the uphold in World Edit. He deletes Alex from the server. With that, a 4-on-3, the long control being found as well because the rotation has been called for, although they do need to be careful. There is a player in Arch beginning to walk in. Easter on the up gets 1. I don't think he realizes that there's a second player. Might have thought that was just 1 lurking in. If he had have actually stuck around, he could have dropped the bomb, but instead now could be in trouble. May get caught off guard, but he manages to spot Nickelback. This is an issue. He needs to bring it towards A. They should realize that's the bomb. Hang on a moment, because now it's Dets coming in from mid. Yeah, he should drop the bomb. This is such a crazy round right now. It's just all over the place at the moment. The bomb's actually going to be brought into A and should be planted, but he can still catch these players in mid off guard. Gets 1 and the second. Bomb's finally going to go down for Nickelback, but now he's left in a 1-on-3. Movistar Riders looking to take themselves the lead right now, unless Nickelback can pull off an absolutely heroic clutch from a very difficult position as well, that has to be said. The bomb planted in that back corner of the bomb site doesn't give him a lot of spots to work with. Gonna have to try and stick around the bomb site itself. Playing behind the box right now, knows there's at least 1 coming from long. There is 2, of course, overall. And he's only able to get 1 before Death Sun Short comes in and shoots him right in the back of the head. 11 to 10. Yeah, that was really well played by Dets. It looked a little bit awkward when he wasn't able to get the time in on the player on long with the bomb, but it ended up even working out even better for him because, of course, he ended up with those 2 kills instead on mid. So I don't think he would have been complaining. Eco right now for Prosto on that D side, but likely allowing for Movistar Riders to take a 12 to 10 lead. So map 3 beginning to look more and more likely. If we do end up hitting that point, of course, it will be Mirage, which would be an exciting one between these 2 teams, as these 2 maps so far have been as well. Yakin, they're catching that player peeking out from the bomb site. With that now, they should just drop a smoke. They do have a couple of smokes to work with, but peeking in dry, Yakin there goes down. That is just not needed right now. Prosto, in my opinion, making some mistakes, not playing off each other as well as they could. It was the 1 rifle as well, and at that point, trying to recover the rifle, they end up just getting mowed down. Soaker and Alex combine it. Eventually, Alex gets dropped, but 3 players surviving from Movistar Riders, it's not too big of an issue. And you do see that pause being called in, finally, by Movistar Riders. But it's not needed, really, at this point. I like it, though. Proactive pause. Rather than reactive, rather than waiting until they're in a bad position where they have to call the pause, they call it in now and just have a bit of a discussion. Like, okay, guys, what's going right? What have we seen? What are they doing? Do we have anything we've noticed that we can abuse? That's what they're going to be thinking right now. And I mean, something they could definitely switch up a bit is controlling the map a little bit better, because that has been an issue for them. And now that we have Prosto coming back onto the bye, this is where they were finding a lot of success. So let's see how it's going to go. Two rounds in the difference. Who's going to be able to take this one? I feel like if Movistar Riders do take this at that point, then again, unless Prosto get a bomb plant, of course they're looking at another eco. So this is kind of do or die at this point for Prosto, unless they want to be in a position where it's 14-10 and they don't really have the room to drop another round without at best then going to overtime. So it is a tough spot to be in. Again, the banana control is being found pretty easily for the T side. They will be, as always, likely leaving a player here while they then go back to get this mid control as well. It's Waylander already in Boiler. They're beginning to group up. And actually everyone, I think, falling back over towards A immediately. 3 players right now for the CT side who do want to try and hold it down. And there's a bit of a gap in that long smoke. I was going to say Easter could definitely abuse it, but decides to fall back off. Probably for the best, because there's a Mach 10 up close as well. That is looking tempted to maybe jump through. Flash goes in as a counter flash also comes over from the opposing side. Rather a smoke, actually. Okay. So that's good. Blocks off the view for Easter. Tries to get the timing, but he's not able to. So that long control now has come in for the D side. So with that, Easter having to be a little bit more cautious of the ability for them to wrap in through Arch, of course. But it still, of course, will be the A-bomb site where they end this one. They need to be careful. They need to get a move on, because there's a flank even beginning to come in from Banana now at this point, because they realize it has to be the A-bomb site. Oldetta able to take one. Alex picks up a couple before he goes down, but in towards the graveyard. Not a lot of success was being found for Dets. Easter spotted the player actually creeping in the graveyard, so with the op, that could be dangerous. Quick right now. He's waiting for his teammate to take contact first. Easter's the one pushing in. Waylander able to find a quick headshot. Those ones all on Easter. And he will end up going down 11-12. Prosto returning around again. And with that, the economy for the Spaniards is not great. They're going to be looking at Nico most likely. As it is only the one up. I'm really surprised Easter has bought up an op right here, because it's not like Movistar Riders have a lot of loss bonus to work with. So if this doesn't work out for him, then he's just kind of limited himself in the next round unless they're able to save it over. So it's a very interesting choice. Now a minute remaining, not really much being done in the round so far. Only Soaker taking a bit of damage. Easter though should have a chance. They hear the scope. They may not know it's enough. They could think it's a scout, to be fair, but let's see how that's going to go. Dets in towards Boiler, rather. Was able to get a bit of a dink onto Yek in there, but with only a USP, not doing too much damage. Not nearly as much as he would have hoped for. Easter pushing into the apartments though. This could catch them off guard right now. There's one player pushed out of Boiler currently. And he is exposed. I think the back may have just about been spotted by Easter. Maybe not, though, because he's focused on the right side as well. Waylander pushing up long, though. Either way, going to be spotted by Alex. And with that now, the push coming in towards B. Soaker pushing through. Gets a kill and the dink on the USP towards World Edit. Puts him down to 7 health. A little bit of damage on the Nickelback as well. This is a very winnable 3v3 right now for Movistar. This is getting awkward. Nickelback needs to shut down this flanker on Banana. And he's going to take the jump peek. Oh, no. He doesn't realize Mopos is already up close. The P250, perfect timing. Oh, Movistar Riders, we've seen them win the Ecos already. The snatch away rounds, are they going to be able to do it again? It's Yekindar, the only one that was looking healthy. No longer the case, gets wall banged through the smoke. And there it is, World Edit falls as well. There's no defuse kit, but there is enough time for that defuse to come in. 13 to 11 is going to be the scoreline. Movistar Riders absolutely stealing that round away.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
A lot of discussion, I would imagine, going on during this pause right now. It's a very crucial round. It was seeming like Prosto, again, may have been able to pull it back into a great spot for themselves, but ended up letting that one drop there up against the, just op and then some pistols, I believe it was, to support it. I don't think they even had any SMGs or anything, so a heartbreaking round. Can they recover from it, though? They still have a decent buy in this one. If this one doesn't go in their favor, though, that's when, again, they're looking at the eco, and it'll probably be 15 to 11 for Movistar Riders, so they can't let that happen. And this is not going to be an easy one by any means, because they don't have the most amazing of buys. There's a bit of a switch up from Prosto. As we know, normally getting that initial banana control, this time just grouping up with 3 players in the apartments looking to try and pile out of the balcony. The flash went over, but it was a good position from Jets, playing up close, and it allowed for him to actually avoid the flashbang and then also help his teammate over towards short if it was needed. So it ends up in a 5-on-2 very quickly, as Movistar Riders have no issue at all shutting down this push. It's World Edit in quick. A minute remaining. I mean, saving isn't really an option, and trying to get into the bomb site is not going to be an easy task. There we go. World Edit finding only one, unfortunately. He gave them a little bit of hope with the opening, but very quickly it was returned. As I said, just completely outmatched in terms of the manpower. Yeah, and this was great from Dets. As I said, he had the position where he was able to avoid the flash that came over through the against the chimney, rather, over the house. And then after finding that initial frag on the balcony, was ready to help short, then backed off into the pit. Was able to isolate the fights on the next 2 players who came out, and it was just that simple. Very well held indeed. 14 to 11, as I said, a swing round that probably puts Movistar Riders on 15. You can see that is the case right now, as they only have Deagles coming into this one. And then a Glock on towards World Edit. He's keeping as much money as he possibly can to try and get that op out in the next. But it's going to be 4 in a row they need on this T side in order to send it into overtime. And I don't think we've seen either of these teams having a... Well, Movistar Riders maybe over these past few rounds, since on their CG side I'd say they've been pretty successful. But most of the time it's been pretty back and forth. You wouldn't really see a team taking 4 rounds in a row. It's been a couple of rounds each. How it had been going, the trend of the game so far. World Edit. Let's see if we can at least do a bit of damage. And just as I'm finishing up the sentence, of course, Soaker ends up taking him down with the op, peeking in towards Banana. So 15 to 11. 4 rounds in the difference. 4 rounds in a row is what Prosto need to manage to close this, to actually bring this into overtime, rather. It's only one Movistar Riders need to close this one out and take it onto map 3, which will be Mirage. As I said, Mirage between these two should be a pretty close matchup. If it does get to that point. Statistically slightly better for Movistar Riders, but they've also played it a little bit less. I mean, you can't go too much off the HLTV statistics. The only thing we know is, of course, it's a map that both of these teams are definitely capable of playing. And I mean, I'm not going to complain about seeing another map between these two. We've had a close first map and a close second map here as well. And they're alone over towards the apartments at the moment. 3 CTs pushed up around this area. Well, 2, and then the Opera, I believe, on short holding the mid push. So he does need to be careful. I think there's a player tempted to kind of follow this one up and maybe see if he can catch that player around mid. You can see, of course, just trying to sell a bit of a fake. 2 players over towards B should realize pretty soon that this is where the commitment is likely to come in. And Soaker pushed forward at that CT smoke, able to take down Yek in there. So a man advantage already being found. Not looking good for Pros, though. As I say, that Waylander catches one on long. Another player spots the shoulder. Actually, they're coming out a boiler rather. I wasn't too sure at first. But there's still another player in the apartments that I don't think they're going to expect yet. Death's going to be able to find that kill quickly. Stops them from taking control of the bomb site. And now as the other 3 come in, they pretty much have to reclaim it. So this is going to be tough. Already the rotation as well put into place by Mopos, rather, as he made his way over. So here we go. 25 seconds. Prosto backs against the wall. They need to win out this 3 versus 3, otherwise, as I said, Mirage will be needed. And there we have it, Nickelback getting himself a quick headshot over towards long. Deaths from the pit, able to find himself one quickly. The second as well being found, but he runs low on bullets. Eventually, will actually be able to whip out that USP, and fortunately, World at it, missing a couple of op shots. Eventually hits the no-scope of all of the shots to connect. Heads out to the rifle and gets himself one kill, but he didn't have the time. Was hoping that player on long would peek in. Very well played in the pit there, just being able to run down the time. And with that, of course, it is 16-11. A good showing here on Inferno from Movistar Riders. Are they going to be able to get the victory as we take it over to Mirage? I mean, if they can keep up that performance, it's definitely possible. It's quite likely at that point, but I expect a close one. I do think they're going to be able to. They're going to give us a very interesting one. Apologies, that is not me. Unfortunately, I'm not that handsome, as I said, casting off a clean feed. So that is the gorgeous Russian caster. So we're going to go ahead and send it on over to the Holden screen, guys. That's the way we've got to do it. And we're going to actually take a quick break. We will be back as soon as the 2 teams are ready to hop on into Mirage. If you're enjoying so far, though, make sure you hit that follow button and do stick around.